Fear of failure, something that all trail and ultra runners experience at some point. Sadly, this can be devastating for some athletes. At worst, leaving them to quit racing or even stop running altogether. When we take on a daunting big adventure like an ultra marathon, failure is never far away. So it's really crucial we develop a healthy relationship with it. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can embrace failure, making it one of our biggest allies. Welcome to my channel, Endure Performance. My name is Reframe. I'm a clinical psychologist and passionate ultra runner, and I feel fairly qualified to talk about today's subject, failure. I've had my fair share of it. If you keep watching, I'm going to show you why that's not such a bad thing. Our collective aim in this video is to reshape our relationship with failure. We are going to break down the psychology behind this common issue and show you how you can perform better and enjoy your running far more by embracing failure. Now, when we talk about failure, especially in the world of ultramarathon running and endurance sports, it's not just about not finishing races or missing out on a time goal. It's about all the mental hurdles that come with it, the doubts, the pressure, and the feeling that your worth is tied to your performance. In fact, this topic was one of the motivations behind me creating my free 8-week course on performance psychology for trail and run. If you want to check that out, check out the link below. But let's get back on topic and let's break down what fear of failure is. It's that nagging voice in your head that says, what if I don't finish? What if I'm not good enough? What if I embarrass myself? It's that feeling that holds us back from pushing our limits, from taking risks, and from fully committing to the challenges ahead of us. In ultimately, this fear can hit us at any point. It might be before a race, during the training, or deep into the race when we're really hurting. Fear of failure is a fear of being judged, or a fear of not measuring up, or worse, a fear of never living up to the expectations we set for ourselves. Now, fear of failure doesn't just stay in your head. It involves the cognitions, yes. So these are our negative self-talk, the I can't do this, the what if type questions. It includes our emotions, what we feel, our anxiety, shame, embarrassment, stress, and perhaps even guilt. And includes behaviours, what we do, how we respond, and often more importantly, what we don't do. We often avoid certain behaviours due to the fear. And this is where it can get really problematic. It affects everything you do. When you're afraid to fail, you start making decisions based on your fear. You might not sign up for an ultramarathon because you don't want to risk judgment or what other people might think. It can lead to undertraining, which is a form of self-sabotage. It's this weird psychological buffer that we create for ourselves where we can justify or explain away a subpar performance because we didn't train very well, had a bit of a niggle injury, and that helps us protect our ego. It can lead to overtraining, and this is what I see often with anxiety-driven training out of fear. This is very common with people that have had challenges and struggled with body image or disordered eating behaviours or exercise addiction. And then the flow on from that, it leads to burnout as well. I've seen people give up racing or running altogether, and for me that's really sad. When such a positive sport starts to have a negative impact on someone's well-being. I want to help as many people as possible avoid that pitfall as we can. One of the worst parts of fear of failure is that it can rob us of one of the most important things in endurance sport: progress. It can keep you from pushing your boundaries, learning new lessons, and building resilience. When you avoid failure at all costs, we also avoid growth. So, here's my personal philosophy on failure. It's something I've come to truly believe after years of running ultramarathons, pushing my limits, experiencing failure many times. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. Let me explain. In ultra running, you're constantly facing failure in small ways, whether it's missing a pace goal, struggling with an injury, or even dropping out of a race. These small failures teach us lessons about our body, our mind, and what you need to do to improve. You don't fail because you're not capable. You fail because that's how you learn what you're capable of. Every time you push through a tough moment, whether it's in a race or a training session, or life in general, you're growing. You're learning to become more resilient, more focused, and more adaptable. And when failure happens, it's just an invitation to learn more about yourself and become stronger the next time. If you don't fail at some point, you're probably playing it far too safe. The key to long-term success is not avoiding failure, but learning how to move through it when it happens, adapting to it, and coming back stronger. In ultramarathon, physical and mental stress is extreme. It's unreasonable to expect perfection. In fact, perfection is one of the biggest traps we can fall into. Failure is not the absence of success, it's part of the process, so we need to embrace it. Every failure, whether it's a poor performance, an injury, or a race that didn't go as planned, is a lesson. It It teaches us about our physical limits, our mental fortitude, and what needs to be worked on in future training. Failure forces reflection. What went wrong, what can I avoid next time, what can I do differently. It's really important that we actually spend a bit of time diving deep on our failures. Not too long. I suggest putting a little bit of a time limit on it. It might be a period of hours or a day or two if it's a really big race. And then don't lose the gift of that failure. You've gone through a lot of burn and pain due to that failure. So take the silver lining from it, take the lessons from it, learn from them, and apply them in future races, future experiences you might have. Ultramarathon running is as much about mental resilience as it is about physical endurance. When things fall apart in a race, the mental ability to keep going is what defines us and what leads to positive experiences in the long run, unattended. Except that failure is not final. It's just a chapter in your bigger story, a small part of your story. So when we fail, we strengthen our resilience. The act of failing and continuing to push our goals, even after setbacks, builds mental strength over time. And this is an opportunity for further growth and further training. Ultramarathons test the boundaries of human endurance, and failure can often reveal just how far you can push yourself. We reach a point where our mind says, I can't possibly go any further. And how many times have we all experienced where you just take that one more step, you get to that next checkpoint, and all of a sudden you redefine what's possible for yourself. You've broken through a perceived barrier that you had about your ability and potential and created a whole new level of possibility for yourself. What you think failure is today often becomes the stepping stone for tomorrow's success. And the beauty of this is that we transfer this to other areas of our lives as well, not just ultra. Ultra running can be a beautiful component of our life that teaches us many lessons and skills and builds up our confidence and our resilience to apply to business, relationships and other life areas. Ultramarathons are pretty hard and they can be humbling experiences. The distance, the terrain, the conditions, they're always bigger than us, and that can be great because it reminds us that grounding us of who we are. We're not that big, we're pretty small, me included, at 5'3", and the unpredictable nature of these events, sometimes despite all our preparation, don't go as planned. And failure teaches us to respect that process and the race itself. The feeling humbled is a good thing. It can reignite our passion and commitment. It teaches us to focus on the things that we can control, let go of things, focusing on our preparation, our mindset, and our ability to adapt. This sport we do is a long-term pursuit. You will inevitably have bad races, but failure doesn't erase the work you've put in. What you've learned, how you've improved, the determination you've developed, that all stays with you. Failure in one race doesn't mean you're a failure as a runner. It's simply part of a larger story. The key is to treat each setback as part of the learning process, not as a permanent mark of your worth or ability. Instead of seeing failure as something to avoid or fear, I believe we should embrace the mindset where failure becomes feedback. This reframing allows you to look at failure through a lens of curiosity, learning, rather than frustration and defeat. For example, in an ultra, it's not a failure of your whole journey. It's simply a race that didn't go to plan. It's an opportunity to analyse what went wrong and improve. Maybe with pacing, nutrition, mental strength, there's always something to learn that we can contribute to future success. Avoiding failure due to fear often prevents you from taking risks and pushing the boundaries necessary for growth. In ultra running, this might mean holding back in training or races, staying comfortable rather than heading outside your comfort zone and challenging yourself. Embracing failure on the hand allows you to run fearlessly. You stop worrying about what if I fail and start asking what if I succeed beyond my expectations. There you have it. There's a brief overview of my personal philosophy on failure. So let's ask ourselves, what if we do turn fear of failure into fuel for success? First, we need to shift our mindset. Instead of seeing failure as the end, see it as a stepping stone, an opportunity to grow. Every time you fail, you get one step closer to mastering mental toughness that will help you crush your next race. Second, embrace vulnerability. Fear of failure often stems from trying to protect ourselves from feeling vulnerable. Afraid that if we fail, we'll expose ourselves as inadequate or weak. But guess what? Vulnerability is strength. When you embrace vulnerability, give yourself permission to fail and to grow from it. Remember, in endurance sports, failure is not a reflection of who you are, it's a reflection of what you're yet to master. And that's okay. Just having the courage to go for a big goal is inspiring. Standing on the start line is courageous, and we should celebrate those acts and those behaviours that we do, the situations that we challenge and put ourselves in. The most successful athletes in the world have failed more times than they can count. And that's what sets them apart. It's not the absence of failure or the avoidance of failure. The fact that they embrace it, they're willing to lean into it and use it. But here's the truth. Failure doesn't fight you. Your response to failure does. Open up to it. Embrace it. Let's get rid of the fear around failure. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Keep taking that one more step. And keep setting that next goal as you regret. Instead, use it to fuel your journey, because that's where the magic happens. As you can see, fear of failure is a multifaceted issue that arises from past experiences, societal pressures, and internal beliefs that we have. By addressing these underlying causes and reframing how we view failure, we can reduce its power and use it for full growth. To dive deeper on this topic, I've created a free 8-week course to help you unlock your mental game for ultimate trail running. Link below in the description. Thanks for watching today, guys, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to comment and subscribe for more insights into sports psychology for endurance athletes. Happy running, and see you out the trail.